Yo, YouTube, what's going on, people? We are back, the Red Mist LFC. We're here with the post-match review, full-time review of Lask versus Liverpool. I'll be honest with you, I fell asleep. I fell asleep during the game. I put it on. I put on the game. We went down 1-0, and I was like, I'm done. Nah, because I know, 20 minutes in, 25, it was boring. It was boring. We was crap. We were so crap. I fell asleep. I legit fell asleep, man. It was awful. Bad match. Anyways, let's it's all about the team. Let's get into it a little bit. There's some interesting facts, and yeah, I wasn't wrong with certain things, as it seems so far. So let's get rid of these big ass badges on the screen. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. So let's bring in the rest of the players. You can see my starting 11 right there. Let's bring in the rest of the players. Klopp subs. Let's bring in all the rest of them. Let's bring in all the suspensions, injuries, and whatnot. Let's get everybody in there. So all of them? No, it's still someone. All right, let's get rid of that. Okay, we are there now. This is what we had when we practically. Is this right? Hold on, we're still missing a few players now. Yes, Robertson and Allison. Okay, cool. We are, and Kanate. We are right. We're there. Right. So this is kind of what we left off with. When we did the preview. Of the last game. Wasn't very many views for the preview at all. I got like 2 or 3 or 4 views. Nobody interested in that game whatsoever. I don't know why. Maybe it's me just waffling on. But we were very right, and it was in, I think, the match before Lask. The last game, was it? Who did we play last? We played, was it Villa on the weekend? Anyway, cut a long story short, I said that Granbirch was signed, and you can check out the in fact, it's there. Like, if you go back a few of my videos, you can see the one where it says it's on the title screen. It's got it goes Granbirch signed, and it's like a big picture of Granbirch on the right side of the thumbnail, and it says Granbirch signs, and that was way before. That was when we just got confirmation that Granbirch had signed for us, and I spoke about him briefly, about where I think he's going to play and why I think Klopp signed him, etc. And also we talked about the Endo signing as well, and it's all there. All the evidence is there. I called it. I said that Klopp is signing Granbirch for predominantly to play in a 6th role, and there you have it. He played yesterday, and he played in a 6. And the crazy thing about it is that, like, Endo played as he played on as an 8. He played left of Granbirch, and at times they would alternate. But honestly, I think the Endo thing, sadly, I think it was more to just give Endo game time. I honestly think it was just to give Endo game time. It was nothing more, nothing less. So yeah, so this was a team I went. We'll talk about Granbirch some more in a little while. I started with obviously the goalkeeper Kelleher in goal, which was correct. Ding. Right, to Tsimikas the left. Ding. I did say I weren't sure if. See, I thought Kwanzaa should start, but I think he was a bit of an injury. He wasn't injured because he was on the bench, but he was unused, which shows to me that it's more of a caution that Klopp went with the fitter defender rather than playing Kwanzaa, because Kwanzaa is injured, but he was fit enough to be on the bench, which makes me think that, okay, if we really need something or something happens, then Kwanzaa can play. or otherwise we have Joe Gomez to play as well. So why he was on the bench, I'm not really sure. But anyway, either way, it was unused. I thought if that wasn't an injury and he was okay, I thought he would start. But I think it was an injury and it was just precaution. And if we don't need him, don't use him. And that's why he didn't actually start or play. So let's quick. What's going on? Let's quickly make that change. Hold on. Okay, so we want to change. Okay, let's just unhighlight these real quick. Right, so we want to take out Kwanzaa, so we're taking out Kwanzaa and we're bringing in VVD. Where are you, VVD? Right, VVD, right. So VVD started alongside Matip. No, he didn't. He started along Konate. What am I talking about? I think Joe Matip was on the bench anyway, so because he came on later on in the game. So right, so he went with his tried and tested, his number one pairing, Konate and Van Dijk. The thing is about it is they actually do need to play together because those two, that is his first choice, and they need game time together. And they are both kind of rusty. I mean, Konate's just come back from injury. Van Dijk has been playing international football, yes, while he had his red card, while he was suspended. And obviously those two, they weren't suspended, so I don't even know why they was in that section. They wasn't suspended. I think they were just dropped from the squad in it, so I just put them under the suspension. But they weren't suspended. Let's just move them down there. So yeah, Van Dijk and Konate are the tried and tested centre back, so they did need to be in first and foremost. They needed some game time together, and we're playing West Ham on the weekend, so it's important that they get a run out and get some game time, which makes sense to me. Timmy Cassier was always going to play. This is his time over Robertson. Obviously Robertson was on the bench as well. Yep, Robertson on the bench. Allison was on the bench. Kwanzaa was on the bench. Curtis Jones, Cody Gakpo was also on the bench. Where's Cody Gakpo? It's there. He was on the bench. And also McAllister was on the bench. But I didn't know you could have, what is it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 players. I didn't know you could have 12 players on the subs bench in the Europa. That's crazy. Yeah, you could have 12 on the bench. That's crazy. So obviously I thought it was just 10, so that's why I left McAllister and Gakpo out of the squad, but they was actually on the bench. So yeah, and also Jaros was on the bench, as well as Alisson Becker. So we had two goalkeepers on the bench. I don't have a photo thing for Jaros, so we can just pretend. I don't know. Let's just pretend. We got a picture of Adrian. Let's just use Adrian. I thought I had a Jaros. I'm sure I have a Jaros. He's not here. All right. Let's just use Adrian. Adrian as Jaros. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so we're just using Adrian as Jaros. I'll probably flip him. I'll probably change him at some point, or just add in Jaros. But Jaros is not really doesn't really feature much. So there's no point in me doing it yet. Anyways, so they were all the substitutes. This is our starting lineup. Again, the midfield starting, and it was very interesting because it was Endo, Granbirch, and Elliott. But Bajetic was at right back. Now, that was one hell of a call. I did not see that coming from anywhere. What on earth was that one about? Where is Bajetic? Oh, he's on the pitch. He was at right back. And I know it's for the inverted role. But he didn't want to do. It's mad because I would have thought he would have just gone Endo at right in that position, because Endo can do that kind of inverted role. I think Endo would have been better suited to be doing that, the right back, and then that as well. But he went for Bajetic. He literally went for Bajetic in that right. Do you reckon that's going to be a thing? Is he going to use Bajetic out there as like a right back and like the inverted right when Trent's not available? Because he tried it with Gomez and it didn't really work, did it? It didn't work with Gomez. Now he's trying it with Bajetic. Or is that just for that game, just to, you know, crazy. Anyway, it was Gravenberch, Endo, and Harvey in midfield. So I partly got that correct. One second. So Endo, Gravenberch, and Harvey across the midfield. What can I say? Granbirch looked very, 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 very good. Endo. The thing is with Endo is I can't be too harsh with him because one, he's playing out of position. And then it's with, okay, you got your normal centre backs, but if he was in front of the regular back line, if it was Robertson, Van Dijk, Konate, Trent, and then Alisson, and then you play Endo in the holding role, I feel like you're giving him the optimum opportunity to perform to his best. And the role Endo is in and the role Harvey is in, I think it's key that the left back and right backs are Robertson and are Trent, because they know the system. Like Trent knows that role better than Bajetic, so he knows where to pass, how to pass, when to pass, etc. And Robertson is the same on the left side. So they're playing in front of a weaker back five and the goalkeeper. So they're not really getting a fair chance. Even Gravenberch, he's not getting a fair chance playing with a makeshift left back and makeshift right back and makeshift goalkeeper. Well, the second rate left and right back. Well, not a second rate right back, but you get what I mean. For the time being, a standing right back who doesn't play there, and then you've got the goalkeeper who isn't first choice goalkeeper. So really and truly, Gravenberch has to perform in a team which isn't at its strongest. Now, if it's at its strongest with its strongest team, there's no excuses there. There's no excuses. It's like what vexes me sometimes. Like, it's like playing a second-rate team. Like we'll see it against Leicester in the cup, right? We'll see it against Leicester in the cup, right? We will see Endo playing the DM, right? And then what will happen is you're gonna have probably Kwanzaa, Gomez, you're gonna have weak defence. You're gonna have the second-rate defence, and Endo's gonna be expected to perform. I don't think that's fair. Play him with the strongest defence and then judge him. With the strongest defence behind him and then judge him. Because sometimes players can't perform because the system isn't correct or it's not suited to them properly. So they can't perform. Only way you really see how a player really performs is if you put him in the strongest team. It was like I can't remember his name now. It's like when we signed the other Japanese player, right winger that we sold recently. Shit, I forgot his name. He never got a chance in starting lineup, like proper full strength. He never got a run of games in the full strength Liverpool starting lineup. He always came on in the League Cup or Europa, playing like a bit part role with like the second rate side. He never got his chance, you know, playing with a full strength Liverpool midfield, full strength defence and first choice goalie. And he was always opinions were formed on him playing there. So you can never really could never really give an accurate reading of how good he really was. And I think Endo's the same. And today's, yesterday he was played out of position against Lask. Played out of position, played on the left of the middle three, when actually he should have played in his holding role, and Granbirch should have played where Harvey played, and then Harvey probably should have maybe played, I don't know, or held the bench, and someone else should have come in. But the problem is the left side. Maybe Curtis Jones should have played there. But if Curtis Jones plays there, Curtis is going to play league games. Potential starter in actual league games. And obviously later Europa round. So Endo probably isn't going to play. He might play in the League Cup. He might not. He's not going to. I can't see him playing in the Premier League now. Unless he comes on as a sub, I can't see it. It's looking bleak. I don't think he's had a fair chance, and I personally, I do think he's a baller. I do think he's a baller, but he's not being given a fair crack. Unless I don't know, unless Klopp is really protecting him and feels that he's not quite up to scratch it. Maybe there's a communication thing. Maybe he doesn't speak. I don't know if he speaks good English. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe he's got some more bedding in to do. I don't know. And Klopp doesn't fully trust him in the system yet. But he didn't have his greatest game. But like I said, it's he's playing in a team which the left back isn't your usual left back. Your right back isn't your usual right back. And then Granbirch, it's his first game for us as well. So no one understands. There's no coordination there. There's actually even like the coordination with the centre back and the goalkeeper is even all right. It's probably decent with Kelleher, but it's not your first choice, is it? Right? And then, all right, Tsimikas is familiar with Van Dijk, but it's not your first choice. He's not as familiar as he would be with Robertson, is he? Van Dijk, and obviously Konate has never played with Bajetic in that position, so that's an unfamiliar relationship. So how you got a whole back line which is unfamiliar, so how then you going to connect and play freely and know where all your midfielders are? And even the midfielders haven't played with each other before. That was the first time Endo and Granbirch have played on the same team, and that's the first time I think Harvey's played with Granbirch as well. I don't even think Harvey's played with Endo yet, and if he did, it's like for 5 or 10 minutes. So that whole that whole seven is all over the place. So how can any of them really play their game or really get on top of their game and play properly? And there was out of position. He doesn't want to play on the left of the three. That's a different role for him. He wants to play where Granbirch is. So I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to judge him on that. Again, I'm going to side from yet again. I want to see him in this position with a full strength backline, McAllister to his left, and Szoboszlai on the right. That's what I want to see. Until I see that, and I see at least 70, 80 minutes of him playing in that side, I will not judge him. I can't pass a judgment. I will just support him and be like, yo, the guy's a baller. But he needs to play with the full strength 11. And then we will see how good he really is. Because the movement around and supporting him will be good. He'll have the back line talking to him, and it will be a solid back line. They all know where they're moving to. They know their duties. They know the system. And I'm pretty sure he would do bits, but playing out there, nah, I can't, yeah. It's no, not for me. Anyway, the attack was Nunes, Diaz, and Doak. I thought Jota would start for some reason. We got Nunes right, centre of the park, and then Doak we also got that right. But I did think obviously Diaz started. I thought Jota would start, simply because where else is he going to play? I thought this would be a game for Jota. I don't know. Maybe Jota is going to start in the league game ahead of Nunes, because it's not going to be ahead of Diaz. So I got a feeling Jota starts ahead of Nunes in the next game, which is interesting. So. Yeah, that was just starting lineup. Why does Granbirch look so big? Because he is. Looks huge. I know he's tall and everything in real life, but no need for his square to be bigger than everybody else's, right? But yeah, Gravenberch really impressed me. He impressed me. He was a bit. I felt like he was a bit unpolished, but again, him being unpolished could be the fact that he's never played with Endo before, never played with Harvey before. The same problem that Endo has. Like it's getting to know each other and where you're moving to. Who's going to be the more push one that goes forward more? Who's going to be more defensive minded? Who's going to, you know what I mean? Who's going to, sit on the ball and dictate play more? So, because Thiago will be in the Endo position. But, Thiago will play that role and dictate the game a lot more. Like, see, Thiago can be on this side here, but he will control the game. Like, Thiago doesn't have to be here to control the game. And I feel like maybe Klopp, in fact, he probably does feel like Endo is similar in terms of playing style as Thiago. Hence why he fits that left side. Because he's that ball playing midfielder. He just keeps it ticking over. 1-2 touches, dush, 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 dush. Maybe he wants Endo to be more that kind of player than actually a holding player. You know Klopp, man. He signs players for positions and then they play in an entirely different position. It's crazy what he does with them. So maybe actually Endo isn't even going to play in as a DM. Maybe he's going to play as that fill-in kind of role for Thiago when Thiago is injured. And maybe actually McAllister is going to be the new DM. But he can't be because Granbirch has got to be there. So McAllister is going to play where Endo is. But I don't know. It's all strange. Like Klopp is so unpredictable. But yeah, point of the matter is I did say like 2 or 3 games ago when Granbirch signed that Granbirch for me is going to be the 6th. And now all these content creators that I've been watching, they've been jumping on the bandwagon saying, "Oh my God, did you see Granbirch in the 6th?" Of course. Yes. But I said that. I said it. I said he's going to sign him and he's going to play in the DM role. He's going to be like an advancing DM. He's going to be Fabinho, right? And the thing is, when Gravenberch went forward, it's clever because Endo just drops in there and just covers him. So instead of Gravenberch, like the thing is about it is Endo doesn't have that in his game to like beat players like Gravenberch does, the turning and stuff. He doesn't have that. And what Klopp gets out of having Granbirch in a DM is that he does it from deep and he can break the lines quickly. Turn a player. Endo doesn't do that. So you never really get a break on your opposition. Whereas what can happen is if he plays there, he can do that, gets the break, and then Endo just slots in. Just fills the gap. Or he just moves across to like there. And he just protects. Rather than him having to do it. You let Gravenberch do it. Smart move, makes sense, really. And I think Thiago would do the same thing. Like, Granbirch, dish, out. And then boom, he just comes across, just slots in. And I even think McAllister would be exactly the same. I think they'll do the same. When this for me is going to be and Szoboszlai on the right. That for me I think is going to be when everybody's ready. That's going to be our midfield. Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. That's going to be our midfield going forward. When Granbirch is how Klopp wants him and he's nurtured him and he's got him involved and he's on form, that's going to be the midfield. And when he bursts forward, I think McAllister is just going to, these guys just going to slip across, close the gap, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's for me. For me, that's going to be our midfield moving forward. That's going to be our title. I see our title winning midfield. If we win the title, that's going to be the midfield. Guarantee you, I'm telling you from now, that's the one. That is the one, guys. That is the one. But yeah. So Harvey was in there. Harvey had an alright game. No one was brilliant. I think everyone was pretty. I'm not even going to do ratings, to be honest, because I don't even think anyone was that good. And I think it's actually boring to rate it. I won't even feel motivated. I don't even feel motivated doing this. I'm just doing it because I like talking about Liverpool and I kind of want to do it. Or I don't want to do it, but I kind of want to do it. I don't know. I'm somewhere between. It's the fact that I'm looking forward to doing the West Ham and so I'm kind of, you know what? Let me just do Lask as well. Even when I did the preview for Lask, I was like, no one's even going to be interested in listening to this or watching this. But I don't know. Maybe people will be more interested in hearing the result and what I have to say on the result. So yeah, Ben Doak, Had some good times in the first half. Some good, beat the defender a couple of times. Got him around the back. Some good crosses across the face of the goal. No one to tap it in. Nunes disappointing again. Diaz was good. Diaz was probably the best player, to be honest. He was probably the best player on the pitch. Nunes, sometime she was alright. It was probably Diaz and Granbirch are probably the most impressive. Yeah, I'd say those two were probably the most impressive on the pitch. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with ratings. I was thinking I should just do a quick rating, but I'm not even gonna bother. Van Dijk and Konate once again conceding before they actually sort their lives out. Tsimikas bang average. Bajetic was alright. He was pretty clever in that area. Done some good stuff. Kept moving in from time to time. That inverted role. I think that's why he played there, because Klopp wanted to try him in inverted role at right back. I don't think he really wants to play right back. I don't really know. That was a weird decision. That was a really weird one. I never saw that coming in the slightest. So yeah, the substitutions, Szoboszlai did come on. For Szoboszlai came on for let's just say Harvey. Actually, Harvey Elliott didn't. No, Harvey Elliott didn't come on. What am I talking about? Ben Doak came off. Let's take Ben Doak off. Ben Doak came off. Did Harvey go? We'll see. Who else came off? Konate came off. I think Matip came on. Joe Gomez came on. Bajetic came off. Maybe Bajetic playing there was just to give him a bit of game time as well, because he's not going to feature much, and that was just a position where Klopp could get him some game time. And maybe Endo as well for that. But the Thiago Endo thing, it wouldn't surprise me if there was something in there. I'll be honest. If I saw that again, I'd be like, yo, yep, something's going on there. And then Joel Matip came on for Konate. Van Dijk had the full game, because he's been out for a little while. McAllister also came on. No. Yeah, McAllister and Mo Salah came on. Gravenberch came off. So again, McAllister came on in did he come on in the holding role? Yep, because Endo came off as well. So Gravenberch came off of an injury, I think, didn't he? No, Harvey must have. I reckon it was probably like this, wasn't it? I think Klopp is still doing a bit of tinkering, isn't he? Because Harvey wouldn't have played in the middle. And Harvey would have played the right. Szoboszlai maybe played the left side, but I think it was more like this. And then Mo Salah went onto the right. As I said, I didn't watch too much of the game, so I'm not guessing, but I am guessing. I'm kind of assuming of how it would have been. I didn't watch much of the game. I remember seeing the Salah wide, and I remember Harvey midfield. So I'm assuming that McAllister was on the left, and Szoboszlai in the middle. Which again, I think Klopp is chopping and changing. I think Szoboszlai plays really well in this kind of position here, so it wouldn't surprise me if we saw him drop in. But yeah, I think he's got an injury. I think he felt awkward. Hopefully he's alright for the bench on the weekend. Still don't know what is going on with Thiago. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's all over the place. I honestly, yeah. But hopefully he's back as well. Like I said, the squad is mean. The squad is really, really looking mean. It's insane. The squad is just so good. Like, we fielded that team against Lask, and then the bench was just like, I heard the commentators when the game was starting talking about like the bench. It was just in madness. All that quality on the bench, it just comes on and just just turns the game around, completely turns it around. Lask must have been thinking, Jesus Christ, like, well, what the hell? But yeah, don't really know what else to say about it. Really, and they were kind of the things I wanted to talk about. Yeah, Granbirch for the 6. I told you. So yeah, I'm gonna upload this one real quick, and then I'm gonna get straight on to the West Ham. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, I've been Red Mist, and I'll be back soon with a West Ham preview. Take it easy. Laters.